Hello everyone, welcome back to New York and to our glass restoration videos. And this is Andrew from Total Window Service. And today my next video is gonna be about graffiti removal and the kind of like a DIY project from the client who tried to remove the graffiti by themselves, failed to do that, and eventually they called us to do the restoration work for them, right? So, but before I'm gonna get to that video, I just want to show you the extent of the problem in this corner. This is Bleecker Street and Thompson Street right now, and we have a corner storefront that's under construction right now. And again, there was a lot of brown paper on the window, and if you watch my videos, I constantly say brown paper attracts all the construction projects, all the construction storefront, they attract vandals, and this was not an exception. They had brown paper and they got tagged right away and in very big extent. There's a lot of graffiti here. So you see their neighbors decided to replace the storefront. I don't know how much they paying for this. Sorry, my phone is falling. I have a gloves and it's very slippery. It's getting cold in New York, and that's why I have to use my gloves, but it's slippery. So that's why neighbors, they decided to replace the storefront. I don't know why. They probably just don't know, and they're not watching our videos about the glass restoration. We could simply restore the glass and save them thousands of dollars. Look at these pieces of glass that right now over here. And I know the other guys also need to have a piece of work and make their money. But in this case, I think it was not really necessary unless they changing completely appearance of the store and they want to redesign the glass panels and things like that. It is what it is. Good job, guys. You're doing also an amazing job. And we kind of in a similar trade, a little bit in competition, but time from time, we're using them. All right, because we also need often to replace glass for the clients, and sometimes we even have unsuccessful restoration. How I would say funny or not funny this sounds, but we had cases with cracked glass, and not often, but it happens, and that's why you need to know what you're doing. And sometimes even little mistake can cause to a big problem. But usually, from my experience, it happens only then when we are trying to do the really perfect job. It's always in the end when you think a little bit more and I'm done. And that a little bit more sometimes turns into big cracks. And this is how we do the work. Guys already started to remove the damage. They move forward a lot. I'm a little late for the project. So you see how big is the area of the damage, and when the client decided to remove the graffiti by themselves, they made it even worse. So right now we need to do extra steps, spend more time in order to buff it off to perfection. So this area was just done with the black disc, and over here he's already started to do with the gray disc. We can clearly see the difference. This one is more hazy, and this one more and more he's polishing, it's getting clear and clear. This is the workflow. Polish, polish, clean it with the wire brush, polish more. Then again, polish, polish, you have to use some pressure. So there's a lot of details involved in the process of graffiti removal and glass restoration. I'm not gonna go over every little thing, but slowly, video by video, I'm gonna let you know how this works and how you're gonna make your glass looks perfect and work like a pro like we do it. Okay, so as a good tradition in my videos, every time I go to the job site, I'm gonna do a piece of work. So right now, the glass is almost polished. I don't wanna get into really dirty work, but I'm gonna have to buff this a little bit. So we have a white disc. Michael already sprayed the compound on the glass, and let's see how it's gonna go. I'm trying to move slow when you're buffing with the white disc, with the polishing felt. You need to give it time. You don't need to move too fast, but remember, even the white polishing felt can heat up the glass. And edges, the most critical thing. And you're probably gonna need to spend most of your time on buffing off the edges. Okay, so in order to remove graffiti, we are using multiple set of discs. So first disc is the red one. This is for extra deep scratches and graffiti. This is the red disc. Then after you work with red disc, this one is a fine disc, but it's not as fine as the black one. Next one is the black disc. In most cases for graffiti removal, we're using black disc. This is where we start. This is our starting point. Black disc. And then after black disc, we're using gray disc. That's the finest disc we have. And right now, I believe guys working with the gray disc. So always after these two, we are working the most. If we're gonna use one black, then we're gonna need to use at least 2 gray discs, because this one you need the most. And only when the area is polished to perfection with the gray disc, you're moving forward to our felt. This is a polishing felt. It's like a wool. And we have a compound in the spray bottle. We spray on the glass, right? Spray on the glass. It's empty right now, but that's how the guy's gonna do it. And we buff with this disc. So as you can see, guys are constantly beating up the disc with the wire brush to remove all the glass from the pores of this disc. And here we have a gray disc. So when we buff with the gray disc, the glass has to be close to the clear, but not quite. And the better you're gonna work with a gray disc, the easier it's gonna be to work with a polishing felt and buff the glass to perfection. Edges is the most critical thing. The closer you go to the edge, the harder it's gonna be to buff off to perfection. So thank you for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.